Hello, boys and girls. It's been fun here. If you were watching Paul Finley yesterday, you saw that my power went out. That's why I disappeared. The whole area here. I don't know if somebody hit a pole or if the line just broke. I don't know. It's still laying out in the 2 yards up the street here. So anyway, I lost power. Came back in today. Color was my cameras were all nuts. The color was awful. I've got a I can show you. I've got a well, that looks burgundy there. It's blood red. This shirt is. Um, I was adjusting one camera and it turned green, then it turned blue, and all kind of funny colors. But anyway, we're back almost right again. Um, so we're ready to go. Um, Let me bring my conspirators. I didn't just say that, did I?
Yeah, you did.
My two friends, Ruby and Wayne, are with me today. They're going to help out. Um, I hope you don't figure out why we're laughing so hard, but you might. Anyway, it's been one of those kind of days. Anyway, glad to have you guys with us today. Ruby and Wayne,
Evening.
they're going to keep me
Good
straight, I
evening.
hope. Then they may get me in trouble. Who knows?
Well, you never
Um,
know. We can try.
that's right. That's right. Um, if I go down here, I
That's
can
always been one of my strengths.
get me in trouble. Yeah.
Or getting anybody in trouble.
There we go. I've got a 13-inch piece of red oak. It's like 3.5, 3 3/4 inches thick. It's a little bit out of balance because partly because it wasn't cut real square, but also I didn't get my recess drilled right dead center. I wasn't able to. But anyway, that's what getting started with. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get going and let somebody read off who all's in the chat with us today.
That's probably going to be me.
Well, of
I
course, you have the
can't
nicer
imagine why.
sounding. You have the nicer sounding voice.
Okay, here we go. We've got wee Val in. Evening, Val. Obviously, Doug's here and Ruby's here. And Jennifer's Crafton Creations. Good evening, Jennifer. Norman Greenwell's in. Frederick Day said, good evening from an overcast and showery day in the county of Kent in UK. Currently, the temperature is 16 degrees C, which is 60 Fahrenheit. Way too cold for July, August time.
I wish
I'm
we had that.
I'm sitting at 20 degrees at the moment, and it's yeah, cloudy but very nice. And
You know
Dale's
what?
in Old Man River, Todd at Glen Cove, Mike Evans, Al's in. Evening, Al. Clinton Wood Dancers, Andy the Valley Wood Turner. If Andy's here, Lucy's probably going to be around somewhere, unless she's working. Thomas Kenny's in. James Crawford's in. Mike from Dancers is here as well. Still going down. Johnny Foster's in. Haley's here. Evening, Haley. Vinnie Charlton. Still going down. Jamie's here. Yes, I mentioned Kent, Jamie. Andy Wivy Woodshed is here. And Mike from Dancers is saying he scored a load of oak boards of various sizes today. Somebody was throwing it away. Oh my
Oh my
life.
goodness.
Oh dear, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Neil M is here.
Hi, Neil.
Still going down. I'm nearly at the bottom. Jamie's asking if I'm coming to Kent. God, I wish, Jamie. Yes, and I need some of those pies.
Now, what kind of pies are those?
They are steak pies, Ruby. Jamie's mum makes them, and they are absolutely delicious.
Ah, sounds good.
That's there is a T-shirt, Jill's Pies. Oh, Jamie's going to bring some up to Harrogate for me. Oh, cheers, mate. You're all hot.
I'd say bring some for me too, except mine would have to all be cooked.
Yeah. Oh, they are cooked.
Yeah, but I won't have any way of carrying them around in my
Oh, that's
suitcase.
true. That's true.
Just eat them. Just eat them, Ruby. Don't take them home.
Well, I'm supposed to go for dinner occasionally with some fellows.
There you go. Yeah, the cracks that are in this. I mean, I've got one just above where I've started turning here, and it's going kind of parallel to this face, which is the bottom, by the way.
It might look almost like a shake crack.
It might be.
It does.
Yeah, it's well, it starts off right along the grain. Well, it stays with the grain. That it's probably what that is. So I may end up taking like a half an inch or so off the bottom here. See if I can get any more speed on this. No. Go the other way. Thank you
When
very
this
much.
is finished, Doug, you might have to have a bit play with the color again, because
Yeah.
there's definitely a greenish tinge to everything on this
Yes. Yes.
particular camera.
No,
Right.
I'm seeing pink.
Oh, right.
Do you think it might help stabilize it, Doug, if you brought the tailstock up?
No.
Now, we don't do things like that, Ruby. I'm saying we.
I guess it's just old ladies like me.
I mean, everything is pretty stable right now. It's just out of balance, is all.
And
Uh,
Heather's in.
Hi, Heather.
All right, Jamie's got a couple of comments here about the pies, saying he's going to hook Ruby up with a pie. He'll be bringing loads up. That's if Sneaks doesn't rob me of loads. And the last time Sneaks was down at his house, down in Kent, he went home with 10 pies last
Oh
time.
my goodness.
Well, the most I would need, JP, would be one.
Yeah, I think I only went home with. In fact, it wasn't from Jamie's house. It was actually from Dale's house when he lived down in Surrey, and he had a make a meet up, and Jamie was there. Jill was there. Obviously, Vicky was there as well. God, I forget the name of Jamie's dad, but he was there as well, and he brought loads of pies, and I ended up taking 3 home that were left in the freezer that nobody had picked up.
Oh, wow.
Golly.
Jamie's saying that was ages ago.
Yeah, it must be close to that. That's got to be 4 years ago, easily.
No, and Heather's saying that she's watching from home today. She can't work or turn because she has vertigo.
Oh, that's
Oh no.
Sorry to hear that, Heather.
yeah, Jimmy. They were the big ones. We're still talking about pies. They were the big ones. Oh, I've got to ask Heather. Does your vertigo get affected by what Doug's doing on the lathe at the moment?
That's true. And
And then,
Lucy has joined us. Hi, Lucy.
hiya, Lucy.
Sweet potato. As soon as I get this in balance, this will get a lot more fun.
Alan Gibbs just come in. Good evening, Alan.
Yeah, I find I use my Easy Wood tools a lot for roughing stuff like that out.
Jamie's just put in that AJK gets vertigo from a thick carpet. Oh, God.
I could see
Poor
trying to
Precious.
explain that to the doctor.
Yeah, Heather said it's not too bad right now. It's day 3 of having it, so it's getting better with the exercises.
Oh, that's good. Mike's saying he discovered he's probably got celiac disease and he's waiting on the test results.
Goodness.
And that by cutting no gluten, he feels 20 years younger.
Well,
Yeah, but I bet you don't look it though. Sorry,
I
Mike.
all right. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to end up taking half-inch off of this bottom face. It's that crack needs, well, let's see. Right here, I've got to sort of have a screwdriver. Yep. Yep.
There we go.
It's gonna split out anyway, so I might as well just
Yeah,
turn it
take it
off.
out.
No
And
point in trying to save it.
Dale said he may miss the Worldwide Woodturners meeting on Wednesday night, as it's his wedding anniversary, and his wife hasn't decided what she wants to do to celebrate yet.
Yeah, that's something important. You better make sure you don't mess that up,
Yeah,
Dale.
absolutely.
Right, Jamie said that he's going to be right back. It's his niece's graduation ceremony online, and he's meant to be recording it.
Ah,
So he'll get that sorted. Jennifer, I'm not that bad at the moment, thank you. And Rob from Copper Owl's just come in.
hey,
And
Copper.
Carsten's come in as well.
Hey, Rob. Hi, Carson.
No, Carsten, it is not Joe's voice, it is Ruby's voice.
There's a slight difference in accents.
Yeah, there's a big difference, not a slight difference.
Well, I was being kind.
Yeah, Canadian versus Yorkshire. Yeah, I think that's a big difference.
Let's see what we got here. Well, I'm still not down to it. Almost. Took a lot off, but can I get a little more speed?
If you put your tenon on and then come across, would that not maybe do it?
Uh,
I think a tenon would actually still be within that crack, to tell you the
I
truth.
think that's what I
Okay.
was thinking as well.
Well, my copy of Woodturner magazine did finally come in, Wayne.
Excellent. Did you like
Been
the
meaning-
article?
Yes, that was a nice article about Mark.
Yeah, it definitely was. For those of you who haven't seen it, this month's Woodturner magazine has got an article from Mark Beckett, the gentleman woodturner, where he explains where he started in woodturning and why he started in woodturning and his progress.
We
All right.
we remember when he started, and he's come a long ways.
Oh, he's
Doing
come a hell
very
of a long
well.
way. That's it. I think you got rid of that there, Doug.
Yes, yes, I'm down
Wise
to it.
idea, Doug.
Yep.
Larry's in. Evening, Larry.
Hi, Larry.
For those of you that don't know, Larry is Henry's Scroll Saw Works. In fact, I think it was
now
his
it's flaking
birthday
off.
yesterday or the day before.
All right.
Now, Mike
And
is asking, how old was the tree that this wood came from, and was it from a storm-prone area?
This tree was felled in Louisville, Kentucky, I don't know how old the tree was. This was a 13-inch blank with no bark whatsoever. So, it's a good sized. Of course, oak trees get to be really big anyway. So anyway, I'm going to mark for a recess here. Yeah, I'm in great shape for that.
Yeah, because that crack is going to continue to open up.
Well, I think I've gone past it at this point.
I think there's still some there.
Now, looking at the size of I think the mortise might be okay. The crack, that crack is outside the mortise.
Oh, this crack is definitely.
Yeah, that crack there. Yeah.
But that's a lot of
goes
that's
all the
going
way.
to get removed.
Yeah, but it seems to go all the way to the top anyway.
Well, it goes to right here. That's the end of it. And there's another piece of. There's more of this will come off. What
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, this side as well. So, but I've got a place. Got my marking here. Golly, where are my tools at? There they are.
Frederick,
Couldn't find my.
thank you for this, Frederick. Frederick Deere said he started turning, I believe, because he saw me turning and thought, I'll have to do that. It's all my fault. Oh, cheers, mate.
And Karsten, you're forgiven. I'm not upset in the least.
Susie's in. Good evening, Susie.
Hi, Susie. I was turning a very large piece once, about 20 inches in diameter, and I thought I had the bottom just about shaped, and all of a sudden it just opened into two pieces because of a shake crack that went right through it. I was glad I was wearing my face shield.
Yeah. I tend to wear my face shield all the time when I'm turning anyway. Haven't always, but it's gotten to be a good habit, and I've been glad several times that I've had it on. All right. It's coming along. I just can't get any speed yet. When I get a little speed, this whole thing will speed up.
But the only thing that I would turn without face shield would be like pens.
Right, Michael McHugh just come in, and Anthony Green's just come in as well, and Roger Wallum. Roger Wallum's just come in as well.
So glad to have all of you today.
While you folks are watching, I hope you'll remember to hit the like button. That encourages Doug to keep doing this. If it wasn't for him doing this every Tuesday, I wouldn't know what day of the week I'm on.
You wouldn't what?
I wouldn't know what day of the week I was on.
Ever since I started watching these lives and even the videos, that's kind of how I've kept up with what day it was. There for a while, I always knew if it was Monday, Wednesday, or Friday because Wayne was on.
See, Wayne, you're messing some people up.
Yes, I know. Everybody's just going to have to be very patient and wait. Larry has said he's saving up his money to get a better face shield with a fan, and Dale has said he will not turn without his Trend Air Shield Pro.
Yeah, I started to say a while ago, Ruby, you said you'll turn pins without one, but I've gotten where even with pins, I wear my face shield.
Right, Lucy. Doug is using a piece of red oak that I believe he got from his dad.
Yeah.
And it was around 13 inches in diameter, wasn't it?
Hmm. Yes, it was. Yeah, when I started, it was right at 13. I'll probably end up somewhere in the
Right.
neighborhood of 12 or
And
so.
Jennifer is asking you, Doug, are you using a worm screw or a faceplate?
Neither one. I drilled a 2 1/8 inch hole on the other side, and I'm expanded into that hole. So
So the basically what he's doing, Jennifer, is using the same thing that I do.
yes,
Is use a forcing a bit to drill a hole in the top and expand the chuck jaws into that hole in the top.
So it's essentially a mortise.
It's
yes.
essentially a mortise, yes, on the top side. And that's the system I've used for bulls for a hell of a lot of years now, and it works. And the thing is, I trust my chuck, which is one of the reasons I don't bring up the tailstock, because I trust the chuck.
All right, I'm just creeping the speed up a little bit at a time. Um, Still only at 445.
It looks like you're getting a nice cut there.
It does.
That looks like it's fairly dry wood.
Extremely dry. I mean, that's there we are. That's about it. That's probably the best curl I've gotten so far. But it is dry. This tool is sharp. I'm not sure about my other 1/2 inch bowl gouges, but this one is. And I'm
I
still, like
can't
I said,
remember, Doug. Did you say how long your dad had that piece of wood before you got it?
um, no, I didn't say. He had not had it too awfully long.
All right.
And the fella who cut it into a blank, now he could have had it a while. I don't know how long he had it. I've had it for about a month now. Is all that I've
Right,
had it.
Susie. This started off as around about 13 inches diameter, which is 300, 325 mil.
There we go.
Question there for you from Mike Wayne.
All right, missed that.
He's going to turn a Roman dodecahedron, which are usually bronze, he thinks. What is a good finish to get a weathered patina bronze finish?
Right, you can go to goldleafsupplies.uk, I think it is. They sell different patina stuff. I was going to say Axminster there because they used to do the Chromacraft stuff, but I believe they've stopped supplying them now. I would go online. Initially, look at goldleafsupplies.co.uk because they definitely do them. They are expensive, mind. So bear in mind, if you're going to do one piece, you're probably as well planning on doing lots.
And if you want to keep the cost down, the Chromacraft would be a good way to go.
Yeah, there used to be another firm that I used, quite a few years ago, but they're out of business now. I don't know why I even bothered mentioning that since how they're out of business. But yeah, if you can find anywhere in the UK that supplies Chromacraft, you might even be able to get Chromacraft on Amazon. But any of the thing you've got to remember is any of these types of things that use a patina type of paint that you need a reactor with, they're going to be expensive. Plus, you've got to cover up your bed bars on your lathes when you're using them, because basically they'll just rust everything.
Now, Fred has a question on the subject of turning very dry and dusty wood. Is there a way of dampening it again? Wetting the wood doesn't seem to work too well.
No, not too good.
I
No,
I have I have heard of people who have soaked it in white vinegar.
Used to be, and you guys may remember people talking about this several years ago. Um, some people used to have holding ponds for their wood. So
yes,
they would cut a tree, block it, and then throw the blocks into a pond, especially if it was old dry wood. And supposedly that would give it some moisture back into the wood.
right. Now, Jamie's just put in about the Chromacraft that Axminster are still selling it. Now, I don't know if they're doing everything. The last time I looked, they weren't doing everything that they used to. And he's also said it's half price at the moment, so
Well, that's
maybe
good.
they are stopping the sales of it.
Yeah, I'd check it out.
Michael McEwen, if he's in, should be able to tell you.
Can't remember if Michael's in.
I think Nick Agar is selling that direct.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Nick does sell the Chromacraft stuff, but again, that's in the States. So you're going to be paying a premium postage to get it over to the UK.
Goodness gracious. Of course, that's not unusual. Oak is just such a tough wood that a lot of people don't like to use it.
Especially when it gets fairly dry.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I,
Oh, Richard's in.
Hi,
Rich
Rick.
Baldock's in. And he's also said that Bradley at Spirocraft sells Chromacraft in the UK also.
I'm just going to add a little CA just for some safety. Not a lot.
Mike has said it's an interesting project because you have to turn a small sphere at the apex of each pentagon intersection. Mike, you just go too far, way over the top.
He's a man after my own heart.
Yeah, Frederick has said Axminster are stopping selling Chromacraft as it just wasn't selling. They will not be restocking. So basically, what they've got is what they've got.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott's in. Scott
Hey,
Hampton's
Scott.
in. Evening, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Hi,
Michael
Scott.
McEwen is in.
Again, it is good to see everybody today. Excuse me. Just let that accelerator and glue set up just a second before we get going again. But we are, um, back to Ruby's statement a while ago, I am getting some curls. It's not all powder coming off of here, as dry as it is. I mean, it is bone dry. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
but the Mike said he's only turning on 16 axes.
Is that all? Come on.
Yeah.
All right, just for fun.
And Todd has said that he grew up about an hour south of Doug, and they had some great big red oaks in the neighborhood, and they also had some great acorn battles as well.
And Paul Finley has joined us. Hi, Paul.
Evening, Paul.
Hey, Paul. All right, I'm getting no reading. So, yes, this is dry. It is dry. We ought to be getting close to where I can give it a little more speed, get through this vibration that I'm getting. by golly. Can I get yes? There's 500. All right. Now that we're there.
Frederick has said the Royal Dockyard at Chatham in Kent used to store the ship's masts in water for years. There's a dedicated pond for the use. I did when I was in the army, Frederick, and I was in the Army, but I decided I want to be a plant mechanic to work on the big heavy machinery stuff, and I did a lot of my training at Chatham. Shane Hurst is in. Evening, Shane.
Shane.
Mike is asking, does anyone know what wood cheap pub pool cues are made from? Found a load of them in a skip from a closed down pub, and they look like boxwood. I'm not too sure if there would be boxwood and be cheap pub cues, to tell you the truth, Mike. Jamie said, when Wayne was in the army, he was sober once.
I'm glad he gave you the once anyway.
And Mike is asking, does anyone know what wood cheap pub pool cues are made from? He found a load of them in a skip from a closed down pub. Looks like boxwood, he hopes. That'd be a great find if it is boxwood.
I can't imagine. I did say I can't imagine there'd be boxwood, because they are cheap pool cues.
More likely be maple, wouldn't it?
Yeah, somebody mentioned that they probably sound like maple.
Yeah, the few that I've made from hard maple.
Oh, that's what I'm feeling. A little piece of that split right there, still on that little piece of foot that I've got.
I think a lot of the professional snooker cues, I think they're made from ash. Looking at the grain on them, I think they're made from ash.
Very well could be. But I can't believe that the cheap ones would be ash, would they? Well, then again, they could be. They could be. I
wouldn't have thought so.
Depends on what wood is available in the area where they're made.
Yeah, that's the truth of it. Whether it's ash or maple, here it could be anything. It could be poplar around here.
Scott is asking, has Doug seen the large crack on the rim? Yes, Doug.
Yes.
Yes, Scott. We've been talking about these cracks for a while.
Yeah, this tree apparently had a fair amount of ring shank. Some high winds, or it could even be, and that's showing up partly because I put some glue on it, and it goes down the top face of it as well. Comes down here.
You might
down the face.
You might want to consider bringing that rim in more.
I may do it.
Well, either that or when you start turning the top, go straight across the top.
Mm-hmm.
If the crack is there, fill that side with super glue as well.
Then we'll get this bottom side sanded up, get reversed, and then I was gonna make a leveling cut across the top and see what I got. It may be that I have to take it down 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch.
Right. Todd's been on Google, and he says straight grained hard rock maple for pool, ash for snooker. I thought they were ash.
I thought they were maple.
No, the snooker cues are definitely ash. You can tell by the grain.
Over here we play pool.
What in the world?
Don't know.
I just lost my back system.
And
Right. Go on, Ruby. You thought first.
and yeah, is it Dale?
Yep, it's Dale.
Yeah. He was saying they no longer make baseball bats out of ash as they cannot get the quality of ash they need anymore. And that seems to be the case here.
Right, I'm just taking a quick comfort break. I will back in a couple of minutes.
And Jamie says, not such a violent game, Snooker. Less likely to break a snooker cue over someone's head in a pub. You're not supposed to hit them over the head with it. You're supposed to stab them.
I'm going to try to figure out why I see why my back system isn't working. It has come unplugged. There it goes. Now.
Mike's saying that roughly it's the same thing with axe handles. There's one company in the UK that grows ash of good enough quality for the axe handles. And Jamie says he was going to the wrong pub. And Fred says the Engineers Center of Excellence is still on the boundary of Chatham and Gillingham. He was in the Royal Signals for years. And Mike says he's laughing at Jamie. He's saying he got a Harry Potter scar from the pool cue to the head.
Oh my goodness.
That's probably where the author of the Harry Potter stories got the idea of the scar from.
All right. Change this and just go through these grits fairly quickly just so I can be done with this bottom side real quick.
And Hampton Wood Turning says he's been getting busy getting things ready for his IRD on Saturday.
Okay.
He'll be teaching how to turn globe ornaments with finials.
There you go.
I believe.
You got to get ready for SWAT too, don't you, Scott?
And Jamie says he got a Harry Potter scar too, but not from playing sports. And Fred says when Wayne was in the army, they didn't have ID cards. He knew the other bloke.
Cheers, Fred.
And in the U.S., the ash borer beetle has killed off 90% of the ash trees.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, it's killed off a lot over here as well.
And Scott says, yes, he's getting ready to go to SWAT.
All right, that was 180. Let's hit it with 220. Well, I got two 180s out somehow.
So do you have a finish in mind that you're going to put on that?
Probably just going to do a break the pace on mine.
And Matt Ibbotson has joined us. Good evening, Matt.
Hey, Matt. All right.
And he says, congratulations on having the most random chat feed he's seen in ages.
And we haven't even started
Sometimes,
on the food yet.
sometimes.
Yes, we cover a wide variety of topics.
Tend to. There's that dry spot. Okay, just a little
Oh, that's going to
alcohol.
be pretty.
Yeah, red oak is a pretty wood once it's sanded up and finished. Um, get the dust out
That's
of it.
about the color of the coffee tree wood that I've been
Yeah,
roughing down.
sure. All right, there's
Todd
that.
said he was just about to type what I said there.
And Rich is asking Doug if you've had a chance to try the dome jaws yet.
I have not. I have not. That's I've got an idea um, between mhm. Well, something that Ruby said, and then something that who was it? Oh,
Pete?
no, Alan. Alan. As the wood turns. Anyway, he had gone to a demo, and the guy was doing 12 to 15-inch tremblure pieces, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Those dome jaws would work perfectly for
Stratton?
that. Yes, thank
Alan
you.
Stratton?
Yes, he's the one.
That came from the chat. That wasn't from me. That came from the chat.
Whoever said it, that's fine. That's who it was.
Heather says she's got 5 18-inch plus diameter ash trees in her front yard that are 3/4 dead, and she's probably going to take them down this winter. If
Take
you
them
do,
down.
Heather, save me some.
Yep, take them down. They will still be usable.
Absolutely. I'll slow my speed depth back down with this abrasive paste just to work it into the wood and to let the abrasive part do its job. Then we'll start speeding it up here shortly. I've always been amazed, still am amazed, how you can feel and hear when that abrasive has pretty well done its job.
Yes, it is. And Lucy's got some ash in her field that came from a neighbor that had it cut down.
Mm. Our ashes around here are all standing dead. And I know people that have them, and they don't take them down for 2 reasons. One, they can't find anybody to do it. And 2, even the ones who are willing to cut them, they're not willing to take any liability because of the way they're standing dead. They're not sure how dead down in the tree it is.
Yeah.
So they can cut into it in a splinter and go on 50 million directions.
Yeah, it tends to be very expensive to have trees taken down anymore.
Yes, yes, it is.
Mike said that they took down a big ash tree last year, put all the wood in storage, in new, and now, it looks like Swiss cheese. The bugs ate their way out after it was felled. Now, that type of ash I would absolutely love, because I love things where bug holes in where you're turning something and then all of a sudden all these big holes come into it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
sometimes,
when you turn the likes of vases and things like that.
but sometimes they're still occupied.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
give them a quick spin round on the lathe, and they don't tend to want to be in there anymore.
I have a friend who used to collect all the ones out of a piece of wood when he was turning, and then he'd use them to go fishing the next day.
Sure.
Yeah. Now Dale has said it's over $1,000 to have a tree taken down in upstate New York. See, now
Mm,
that's annoying to me because they're charging the person with the tree $1,000 to take the tree
yes.
down. Then they go and mill the wood and sell the wood on and make even more profit.
Yes.
They
Even if
charge
they only,
more than $1,000 up here.
yeah. Even if all they're doing is making firewood out of it, they're going to charge for that firewood.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
And all the brush, well, the brush they generally take to a landfill and they have to pay for that, but they have to pay to take the brush part to the landfill. Then the landfill runs it through a mulcher and sells the mulch.
Yep. And Scott has said he had to take down a 20-year-old ash tree for the same reason. It was 28-inch in diameter. He planted it as a sapling, made lots of items from the wood, and he still has some left.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I can look out my back door here and I can see any number of ash trees that are standing dead. I wish some of those folks would. Well, some of them I wouldn't touch because they're down in a gully.
Yeah.
They're just too
Rich,
deep down in there.
Rich has said he's got lots of ash on the property he's looking at. 32.5 acres in New Hampshire. And then he
Goodness.
goes on to say if this lot works out, he'll be clearing out spots for 3 buildings on it, hoping he can save the wood for slabbing, blanks, and firewood.
There you go.
And Mama Sneaks has joined us. Hi, Mama.
Evening, Mama Sneaks. How are you doing?
Good to have you along with us again. She's become a regular.
Yeah, Mama Sneaks is one of the good guys.
We're good ladies.
Nah, she's one of the good guys.
Okay. Just getting a little wax put on here. There we go.
And
Well,
Mama is answering you. She's very good, thank you, Doug.
oh, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. All right. Got most of the chips out of my wax since I dropped it in the floor. It's full. All right.
And Baz is in from Real Simple Things. Hey, Baz, not seen you for a while.
Buzz, who told you we were burning? We're not, but
Hi, Buzz.
Yeah, JP says Mama Sneaks is awesome. All right. All right.
And Fred says that he
oh,
thinks the insurance premiums are a major factor for the tree fellows.
that's a
And I
part
think
of it.
he's right.
Yeah,
That's,
there is. Yeah, that's a lot to do with it as well.
you know, I've got this poplar that's sitting right outside my shop here that I have thought so many times over the last 10 years, I'd love to take this thing down. But it's 10 feet ish away from my house and only 15 or 20 feet away from my neighbor's house. They've got a clear line to drop it toward the back into our backyards. But how do you know, that's a difficult thing to guarantee that you can drop a tree in one direction without moving left or right very much.
Yeah, there is that.
So,
Well, the way they do it up here, they have it's like a lift that goes up, and they take the main branches off, and they lower them to the ground.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
but a lot of people that you see, certainly on videos and things that you see these days, when they're taking tall trees down, they'll do it from the top
right,
and not from the bottom. It's only the the loggers, if you like, in the heavily wooded areas that you see taking trees down from the bottom. A lot of people take the trees down from the top.
Yeah, they have an arm that grabs the tree, and then when you cut it, they can just gently lower it down. And for us, that's even better because then you don't get those shake cracks through the wood.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
Now, there's been a few comments coming in. Mama Sneaks says, it's always lovely to watch your show, Doug.
some
Oh,
pretty
that's
nice grain there.
very nice.
And there's that crack right along the top, but I think it's
Yep.
going to be okay. It's so tight. Glue did go into it, but it's very tight at this point, at least. Oh,
Yeah, Baz has said, hi Wayne, I hope you're well. Yeah, not too bad, Baz.
forgot I was going to change chucks.
Dale has said 35 years ago when on the farm we used the dead ash to heat the house.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I find is that now I've burnt lots of wood. I've got an open fire in the house. I've also got a wood burner. Ash burns very hot and very fast. Yew actually burns very hot and very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Beech burns fairly hot, but it takes some time to burn. Softwoods, I won't even bother talking about them.
And Raymond says he was given 6 battens of 10 by 3-inch Douglas fir, about 150 years old. He's not sure what to do with them.
Is
All
that
right.
Oh,
right? But 10 by 3. Is that 10 across by 3 deep?
Todd says when you burn any wood, it becomes ash.
Oh God!
This is true.
It is. It's definitely true.
Yes.
Yep.
Ah,
Still too close. Now.
thank you for the humor, Todd.
I tell you what, I'm going to, since this is oak and I've been using this gouge all this time, I'm going to take just a second and hit the grinder real quick.
I'm going to ask a question while you're doing that. For most people, when you get to the outside edge of a bowl like this, do you prefer the top edge to angle outward or inward?
Oh no, that's a very good question. That really is a very good question, and I think it's all got to do with the depth of the bowl, because I think I do different things if I'm turning a dish rather than turning the bowl. Now, a very good thing, a very good video I saw from Jimmy Clues a few years ago when he was doing a demo for a club, and he was doing a platter come dish, and what he used to do, he always used to curve inwards from the outside. Do inwards from the outside, because of the way people feel the bowl. And people tend to like that feeling towards the higher point of the outside, going down towards the middle and then into the dish.
Yeah. Doug, can you
Yeah.
pull back a little on that camera? Yeah, now we can see where you're cutting. Thank you.
Just going to get this started and then I'll go back to the end grain or end view so we can see.
And Dale says his ash trees were over 20 inches in diameter and at least 100 feet tall. That's a big tree.
To Ruby's question, I do both when I'm doing them. Just it depends on the bowl. and what I kind of intend it for. First time I heard somebody say what he intended it for, and I thought, does that really matter? It's the person who buys it or that you give it to, whatever they decide to use it for. But he's really right. We have to have a intention in mind, and for the end user, it really won't make a difference, but for us, it does. For some things, we want the illusion of a thinner rim, and you'll want to taper it into the bowl then. Sometimes you want the illusion of a fatter rim, and you taper it outward. So yeah, it really depends on what you're after and what the look you want.
And
I,
Rich is admiring your toes, by the way.
oh,
The
yeah,
other
I
thing
don't
is
really.
it depends on the depth of the bowl, and if it is going to be a functional bowl, what that bowl is going to be used for.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
it tends to be, if you are going to be using that bowl as a fruit bowl, it tends to be an open bowl, so it shows off the fruit. Whereas if you're going to be using the bowl as a salad bowl, you might tend to want to close over the top, so when you're mixing the salad, it doesn't all come out.
Right.
yes. Also on the, are you going to have it where everything is equal, or are you going to have a wide rim? I'm thinking I'm going to put a wide rim on this one, and I'll actually undercut. I want to undercut the rim on the inside. There, it's the one we want.
Yeah, I tend to undercut a number of mine. It also makes it easier on a large bowl for carrying them.
Sure. Gives your hands a place to go to hold on to it.
The other thing that people need to look at, and I'm saying this purely for beginners who might be in the chat tonight, as you've seen with what Doug has done on the bottom of his bowl, it's a very nice curve that he's put on the bottom of the bowl. It's not flat bottomed, it's not straight sided. There's some design thought gone into that. So when
Yes.
you're coming to do the clearing the bowl out in the middle, as Doug is doing now, he's not having to go straight down the sides and straight across the bottom, which tends to look more like a dog bowl than anything else. Have a think about design when you're coming into doing bowl turning. Now, a lot of people, when they're selling bowl blanks, they sell them as circles. It might be 5 inch, 6 inch, 7 inch, 8 inch, 9 inch, 10 inch, whatever diameter. And what a lot of beginners tend to do is think, I don't want to lose a lot of this wood because I've paid so much for this wood. No, that's not the process. The process you want to be thinking of is, what sort of design can I get out of this to make the best of the wood? Not keeping the majority of the wood, but making the best of the wood.
I agree.
Yep, totally agree. What I heard of it, this wood is as it cuts, it's rather loud.
Well, your noise canceling is working very well because we're not hearing it.
Good,
Yeah,
good,
it is. It really is.
good. I'm glad that part's working great. Let me just show you this. I've got this flat here on the edge. Of course,
Hmm.
I will round that just slightly, but I'm going to go in approximately, here we go. I'm going to go in to about here. In fact, I'm thinking I'm going to take just a hair more off so I can get just a little bit more. It won't be much, but then I will undercut back underneath the rim, and my bowl walls are going to end up being about the same thickness as what this flat section up here is.
Yeah, I really like to undercut them. When you go to carry them, it's just nice having somewhere for your fingers to grab.
Yeah, yeah.
Fred has said, as Colwyn Way says, never sacrifice design for wood, which I think a lot of people, when they're beginning their wood turning journey, that's what they actually do.
Well,
Um,
wood's expensive, but I want to keep as much as I can.
Well, and when most of us start off, we don't start off learning about design. We start off learning about turning, how to use the tools, how to
How
keep
to
them from skating back, how to keep from getting catches.
how to
Um,
make wood chips.
yeah, yeah, it's just chips. It's not usually not till a little way down the road that we start to think about design. Um, see
oh,
somebody
Andrew's just come in. AGK.
precious.
Hi, Andrew.
Um, we start watching a Colwyn Way or a Mark Beckett or a Ruby Claire or a Wayne Clasper. Um, these folks who make beautiful work, have beautiful work, and then all of a sudden we start thinking, my goodness, my piece doesn't look like that.
Mike
What's
says that there is a balance, though. Anyone would think wood grows on trees.
Now, I'm I'm going to put AGK on the spot here because we used to Jamie and I, that is, used to extract the urine out of Andrew quite a lot because of the bowls he used to make, and they did tend to be um, dog bowls, which I've got to say they are not now.
I've got to leave for a moment. I'll be right back.
okay?
Okay.
As I'm making these cuts, I've started this curve here from here down, and as I'm doing this, I'm also looking on the backside. I'm making or trying to make sure that I'm pretty well running parallel to that outside wall. Um, that's what Wayne was talking about a while ago. If I were to go straight in to the bottom and then straight across, well, I end up something for a dog dish or a cat dish.
Yeah, AGK has done a hashtag not a dog bowl now. Definitely, Andrew.
Oh, by the way, Precious, I did go back and watch your goblet video. That was a lovely piece you did. Very nice. And he's not even paying me to say that. All right, let's see. If I grab that tool right there, I will have to.
Micah Dances has said, has anyone turned an ironic dog bowl? Could be fun.
An ironic dog bowl?
Yeah, that is when you know you're not supposed to be turning the dog bowl, but you turn the dog bowl anyway,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just to annoy people.
All right, let me get that tool back in the rack instead of sitting on the bench.
See the again, I'll come back to it again about the straight-sided bowls. They are a lot harder to finish than a
Oh, yes.
curved bowl because you've got the sand straight down on the inside, you've got the sand straight across on the inside, and you haven't always got the best cut going across the bottom of the bowl. And it's a lot easier to do a curved bowl than what it is to do a straight-sided and flat-bottom bowl.
I'll agree with that.
Well, and if you try to get a flat bottom if you put a high shine on it, you're going to see every lump and bump going across there. Okay, I hope I don't get my shoulder in your way, but it won't be for long.
No, it's fine, Doug. It's fine.
Aren't those little cutters excellent for doing that?
I'm sorry?
Aren't those little cutters excellent for coming in on under curves like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is
In the olden days, we used to have to make scrapers to shape them to go under and make that cut.
Yeah,
right.
it's definitely a lot easier trying to get a bevel cut on a bull gouge to do that undercut.
Yeah, the number one hollower has become just a fabulous tool for most turners. Well, anybody who has one. There's a reason why everybody was giving Shug such a hard time about not having one. They are excellent tools. They do a great job.
For those of you who didn't catch on there, Doug is using the Easy Wood Tools number 1 hollower.
It's got a tiny little cutter on it.
Yeah,
6 mil. I think it's 6 mil that cutter is,
Maybe.
and it's absolutely brilliant. And Andrew's got 2 of them.
Yes,
yeah,
he does.
the number 2 works well on that cut too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm a little. No, I'm not either. Started to say I might be a little strange. I don't see a lot of use for the number 2. If you got a number 1 and a number 3, you've pretty well got all you need.
Ronald Todd's just come in. He says, sorry for being late. He just had to cut the grass before it rains.
There you go. I wish it rained so I could cut my grass.
Mike has said, I wish people would stop saying flat bottoms. Now I've got spinal tap, fat bottoms as an earworm.
All right, that's the number. No, it's not the number anything. It's the finisher. Easy Wood finisher.
Yeah, I tend to use the square one to take that part off with.
Yeah,
Just pushing straight in.
I was going to pull the square one out here in just a second. The finisher does a great job. Mine needs a new cutter on it. I'll probably replace that here in just a minute. But then there's the square one. This one has this is the R4, the 4-inch radius.
Yeah, that certainly removes a lot of wood very quickly.
Yeah, and I've got to say, if you are using dry wood, as Doug is here at the moment, using a carbide will get rid of an enormous lumps of pieces of wood.
Yeah.
Rather than using the bull gouge.
Well, it's also cheaper to buy a new cutter than to buy a new bull gouge.
Definitely.
All right, I'm going to get my tailstock out of my way. It's gotten to that point. There we go. So just take it off.
Now, a few companies have lately gone to putting longer handles on their tools And sometimes I find the long handles don't allow the tool to clear the bed of the lathe well enough for making a cut.
I find that with the Easy Wood Pro Tools, certainly interfere with the tailstock. I've usually got to take the tailstock off, and where I've got my monitor situated as well, it sometimes interferes with the monitor as well. But it's something I can live with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you learn to work with it.
Mike says the satisfaction of a good cut with a bowl gouge is hard to beat, though.
Oh,
I
yeah,
agree.
I would totally agree, Mike.
Yep.
But sometimes when you've got a piece of wood like Doug has here, which is very, very dry oak, which is an absolute nightmare to cut sometimes, carbides work better.
Yeah, and sometimes, like Ron says, all you have to do is rotate the cutter a quarter turn.
Yes. And
I maybe think Doug already has a few times.
this one is used up, in fact. But you can also that's flat, and I've been doing most of the cut. Well, all the cuts so far have been flat. I can turn it up on its corner and get a finishing cut across there.
Now, Anthony Green has said he's just bought the Crown Mini Hollowing tool and he can't seem to make it work as the YouTube demonstrators do. Um, you do that, as far as I'm aware, the Crown one is adjustable, so you can adjust the cut on it, and it is. I've got to say that it should be purely used for end grain cutting for hollowing, not for cross grain like Doug is doing at the moment.
Right.
Oh, excuse me, getting rid of some of those shavings. Just want to see where I'm at. I've got loads of depth still to go.
Have I missed
Now,
I
somebody?
do have my feet up to 1300 now.
TFT Turner's just come in. Oh, sorry, TF Turner has just come in.
Doug,
Yes.
there's a cut I'd like you to try.
Okay.
If you bring the handle towards the right, okay, more, a little more.
That's straight in there.
Drop the handle and move it a little more right so that you're cutting a little further to the left. And as you cut, if you push upward and make an arc that comes down to the center, you
Yes.
can get a really nice, clean cut that has a smooth radius on it.
Yes. And I had to drop my tool rest a little bit to be able to do anything close to that. But yes, you're exactly right.
Yeah, you go in like that, and as you come up, you make an arc that just arcs down towards center. And lift the handle more.
Yeah, lift the handle so when you get to the center point,
The tool is level.
your cut is right on center point. This is I've got to say this is one of my and one of Ruby's favorite cuts. It's one of the best ways of cleaning out the inside of a bowl.
Yeah,
It's a great way.
it allows the tool to make an arc, and it creates that curve very smoothly.
I'm going to go back to my finisher to bring my cut out into the bowl a little further.
Thank you for trying it, Doug.
Oh, no, that's a cut I love, but I got to get it out here where I can get to it. I'm getting down the wall a little bit now, and where we can do what Ruby and Wayne were just talking about.
Yeah, Fred, it does keep the bevel in that cut does keep the bevel in contact better.
It does. All right, we're not far out of whack here. Ruby's favorite tool.
I was going to say that I'm amazed you haven't taken it out and used it yet.
All right, I
I
think
guess
we're
I'm a
there.
little paranoid about. I've got a clean record so far about not going through the side, and I want to keep it that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've still got a lot of wood here, but
DACA Timberworks Wood Turning is in. Good evening.
who is that?
Welcome.
DACA or DACA
Oh,
Timberworks
okay.
Wood Turning.
Ray.
Now, how are you finding the cut, Doug?
Mike, that is
Oh,
not
it's
the same as back hollow and spindle cut. It's just an ordinary cut going down towards the centre. Now,
Yeah.
what I would say to Doug at the moment, have you got a bottom finisher?
yes and no.
Yes and no.
This bolt is wide enough. I don't think I'll need it actually, but
It will be easier to do that cut.
Yes.
But that's working. That's working quite well at the moment, anyway.
Now, for a bowl that size, I'd be using a 5/8 instead of a 1/2 inch tool.
There we go. That's the cut. Now you bring it down towards the center. Yeah, that's the cut.
You know, Wayne, I think he's getting this cut.
Yeah, it looks
yeah,
like a ruby.
that's not my first rodeo. There's a lump right there. See if I got it. I think I did.
Lawrence says that with his luck, he would jab it in and cut through the bottom.
Well, I've still got room in the bottom, so we're getting there. We're almost there.
Yeah, Ronald Todd has said the tool to use is the one you're most comfortable with. Yeah, I'll totally agree with that, Ron. Totally agree.
Well, I think you have to try different tools and different cuts to find out which one is the one you're most comfortable with.
Absolutely. When I was just getting started back in the dark ages, just right after Wayne. Sorry, that one just kind of fell in my lap. Anyway, I read this great article. This man, one of the greats at the time, he turned huge pieces. When I say huge, I'm talking he turned his small bowls were 7-8 feet in diameter. He had custom made lays. They had dug big places out of the floor in his shop for his lays, and anyway, he died. And he had been teaching his wife, and they were interviewing her and asked her, okay, we know about your husband, but what about you? What tools do you like to use? her favorite tool to start a 7 or 8 foot diameter bowl was a 1/4 inch bowl gouge.
Yeah. Now I use my favorite go-to bowl gouge is my 3/8
Yeah,
of an inch bowl gouge. Now people in America would class that as a 1/2 inch bowl gouge
yeah,
because
that's the same
in the
size I'm using.
in the UK we measure across the flute, and in America you measure across the diameter of the bar.
Correct. Yeah, Lawrence is saying that he saw on YouTube a good while back a guy took a rear wheel of his tractor off and turned a bowl on the axle.
Yeah,
And
I've seen a few of them.
yeah, a few Canadian turners did that back in the day.
Yep.
Oh, Mike's just said, no, this is totally out of left field. Mike has just said, bumped into DIY dark matter in a couple of non-wood turning chats this week. Nice to know that he's doing well. Now, DIY dark matter was on YouTube regularly around about 3-4 years ago, and we used to have some chats and watch his stuff. I haven't seen him for quite a long time.
Yes,
Nice to
he
know. Nice to
moved.
know he's still about.
Yeah, he moved, and last time I chatted with him, he was not able to rebuild his shop at the new location.
All right.
I'm just trying to decide if that undercut is as deep as I want it. I think it is. It's well under there. It's easy. It's an easy grip, Ruby.
It looks nice.
Except I look at that wide rim, and first thing I want to do is carve something all around it, or paint something all around it.
It's not that wide though.
Well, it doesn't need to be.
It is.
About
Get
an
the
inch.
ruler. It's 1.5 inches, exactly.
So you could, on the inside edge, come in about an eighth of an inch and put a groove, and then put 2 grooves closer towards the outside edge if you wanted.
Yeah,
Or you could leave it plain, you know.
I could leave it plain. I could put some grooves. I could.
Yeah, Fred said that rim is begging for some pyro designs.
That was my first thought.
Okay, let Doug leave it for tonight. I'm sure he may come up with something before
Yeah, I may
it
change it
becomes a
tonight.
finished piece.
Usually he does doctor things up after the live.
We're an hour 20 in already.
It's going to be a beautiful bowl, Doug.
I do. Thank you.
Well, you do know I'd tell you if it wasn't.
I'm sure you would.
Mike has said he's not too sure if red oak holds pyrography well. Is the grain an issue? The grain might be an issue.
Yes, it would be.
It depends on the machine you're using. It depends on the tip you're using. It
And
Yeah.
it
depends
depends on the
if you
pyrographer.
yeah, and it depends if you're going to try and draw something or just shadow something.
I am not a drawer in any way, shape, or form, and so I mean,
Sorry, Doug, for laughing
if
at it.
if I had been a student of Ruby's, she would have failed me on my handwriting.
No, no, no.
Yes, she would have too. It's atrocious.
No, what I'd have done was given you some exercises to do that would have developed your skill.
Oh, Ruby, You don't know how many exercises I took home. My poor teachers, my poor mother. Holy cow.
You know, it
Right.
was
So,
funny. My last year's teaching, the school told me I couldn't teach cursive writing anymore. So what I did in art class was I taught the kids calligraphy. And there wasn't a kid in my class that didn't leave that couldn't write their name in a beautiful script complete with flourishes.
There you go.
excellent.
There you go.
Right. Dale has said, this is about me again. Dale said, Doug doesn't speed turn like Wayne.
And that's true.
I don't know
He
that
said,
anybody speeds what turns like Wayne.
Oh, yes, there are.
yes, there are.
Yes, there are. I've seen it on EAW videos.
I've seen people try. JP tried. Mark tried.
Yeah, but who was it? There was Jimmy Clues.
Yes.
Not oh God, Ruby.
Well,
Who's Alan's son?
Stuart,
Stuart. There was Jamie Clues, Stuart, and was it Mahoney? Did a
right.
speed test that won the AWs?
Well, back a number of years ago when Alan Batty used to demo a lot, he would challenge people to a contest. And during the one contest, they had the wood set up in the lathe, and the guy said start, and Alan went right at it, doing his turning. And his son Stuart was the one he was competing against that day. He turned his lathe on, but nothing happened. His dad had pulled the plug on it. I don't see the point in speed turning. You turn at the speed that's comfortable for you to make the cuts that you're comfortable with.
This
Now,
is true.
yeah, I would totally agree with that, Ruby. Which is why I turn at the speed that I do,
Yeah. And
because that's comfortable for me. It removes the wood the way that I want it to be removed, and usually I come out with not a bad product.
yeah, and I don't believe that anyone is a lost cause when it comes to drawing. It's a case of you just haven't been shown some techniques that will allow you to develop your drawing skills.
Sure.
I don't give up on anyone.
Night
I,
night, Jennifer.
I, I used to do a little sketching, and I could copy the best Hallmark cards out there, but it took forever, and I usually didn't have an eraser left.
And I agree with Lucy. Doug, that now looks beautiful.
Now,
It really does.
Fred's just said, I wish my sanding pads would stay on like that. I paid over £50 for a large set of hook and loop pads, but they just don't stay attached. Right,
Hmm.
maybe one or two problems here. The first problem might be the hook part or the loop part actually on your sanding pad. Is it old? Does it need replacing? And the other one might be the type of actual sanding disc that you're using. Is it good quality? Is it not good quality? That's the two things I'm asking on this.
And Mike says Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards is the best drawing resource in his opinion.
Oh, very good. I've not seen anything like that. But yet again, I don't. If I'm doing coloring on woodwork, I don't tend to do drawn on woodwork. I tend to do abstract. On wood turning, I should say.
Well, I don't. See, it was my art that got me into wood turning. I ran out of wall space for hanging canvases, so I started turning bowls to have something to paint on. And I tend to paint towards high realism, and it's not the easiest thing to teach other people to do.
Just turning my paper here so I can get a little bit cleaner piece. We'll give it just a little more speed. I'm up to 545 now.
Like I'd like to see a Celtic chain all the way around that rim.
That would look nice. Now, for me personally, I would have to find it on the internet, size it, and transfer it on, and then I could burn it. And that's not, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Then there are people who would lay that out and actually draw it freehand after they laid it out. That'd be phenomenal. All right, if I'm not, I'll have to measure here in a minute. I think I'm still a little thick right in the dead center. Could be wrong.
We need to get you a set of calipers made by
No,
Martel.
all he needs is a depth gauge, a proper depth gauge.
no, that would help.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, what I need to do is use it. All right. We've gone to meddling now.
Right, I'm answering Fred again here because he's still asking about the sanding pads. If you're using the Simon Hope system, you can buy replacement pads to actually go on the arbor. For the sanding discs themselves, I would totally recommend using Clingsport. I've used Klingspor for a couple of few years now. After meeting Rob down at Yandles, and Klingspor, it's absolutely brilliant. It doesn't tend to come off as long as the loop on the arbor system is good. They wear out like everything else wears out. But if you use the Simon Hope system, you can get replacement pads rather than buying a totally new arbor.
Yeah, and that's a good way to go.
For folks in the States, Vince's Wood and Wonders is where I got my pads from. Get that where you can see it.
Now also said, maybe the heat ruins them. Now the other thing, if you're using power sanding, you do not need to put a lot of pressure on there because
Right.
it's the abrasive that does the work. It's not pressing on that does the work. It's the abrasive that does the work. So it only needs to be like sanding.
Wayne, I think your mic has moved because we're getting an echo from you.
Yeah, I think we got that last week as well, Ruby. Tell you the truth.
Yeah. These are the intermediate pads that I use. They're you can see they're domed a little bit with that's a 2-inch pad, but it's domed in just a little bit. So it's a inch and a half, I think, is the Velcro hook part, and then these are the Klingspor wavy edge pads or sandpaper, and that
Now,
combination seems to work really, really well.
the Klingspor stuff in the UK does not come with that serrated edge. Fred, I don't know if Fred's in the UK. I'm not too sure, but Mark Beckett, the gentleman wood turner, has got a sale on for Klingspor abrasives at the moment. I think it's around about 25%. He's got off for Klingspor abrasives at the moment.
Something like that.
That's a good price.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I agree with Ron that you keep the speed down when you're sanding because friction and heat will kill those discs.
Yes. In fact, those two, I've got two of those dome intermediary pads, and I just had to re-glue the Velcro back onto them because I let them get a little too hot. It took them right off.
And Nigel Harvey says, "Hello, he's been in the background, but he has to say that is looking really nice, Doug."
Thank you, Nigel. Get this wax buffed, and sorry we've gone a little longer tonight. This is a big chunk of wood, and it had some problems in it. It's very off balance to begin with, so couldn't turn the speed up until I was about halfway into this top side.
Right, Frederick is in the UK, not far from the Royal Dockyard. He did mention that earlier on, I've got to say. Get in touch with Mark, Gentleman Wood Turner, because he is, like I say, he has got the Klingspor abrasives on sale at the moment.
Now, is Rob still working with Klingspor, or did he retire?
I'm not too sure, to tell you the truth.
I haven't
I
heard
think
from him in a long time.
I think he's still working with them.
Okay. Like I said, I have not heard anything from him it's been a long time.
Mike has asked Frederick if that's Chatham or Portsmouth. It's Chatham, Mike.
Let's see if I back that off to there. Here we go.
That's
One
lovely.
red oak bowl that turned out to be, it's going to go 12.5 inches anyway by 2.5.
Excellent.
So there you go. Backside done, except for putting my information there in the bottom. But that's it. I probably will put this back on the lathe and do a little more. I just thought of it again, so let's just try and see.
Lots of nice comments coming through, Doug.
It's too big. My calipers won't check it. But anyway, it's not as thick as I thought it was in the center. I
We
thought,
need to get you a set of Andre Martel
yeah,
calipers.
some big ones.
We've
Big
got Donna Wrigley, a walking stick and cane maker, come in and said it looks great, Doug.
Hey, hadn't seen you in forever. Good to see you. Yeah, Dana makes some great walking sticks. Carves,
Sorry,
hand
I said
carves.
Don.
I know who you're talking about. So anyway, there you have it, folks. It's been good. If I go back to here,
Still lots of nice comments coming
then
through,
I can
Doug.
bring these guys.
Oh,
Well,
here I
thank
am.
you, everybody. There y'all are. And I'll bring this up real nice and close. You can see that typical oak grain. I could wash that wax back and put some embellishing wax into that grain. I don't think I will. I think I like it just like that.
Now,
The more I look at it.
Lucy's just, since how we were talking from Rob from Klingspor,
Uh-huh.
Lucy's come in and said that Rob's wife is really poorly at the moment.
Ah, okay. All right.
Thanks for letting us know, Lucy.
Which is probably why he hasn't been about.
Yeah, that tells us a lot. Absolutely.
That
Well,
is
it's been good.
I love that bowl.
It's been a good time. I hope everybody has seen something that helps you a little bit, maybe. Oh, there's that do. Will it come right? There we go. There we go.
if that camera doesn't get action every couple of minutes, it just stops. It freezes where it is. I have to deactivate it and reactivate it. But there we go. It's kind of like some women I know.
I'm seeing
anyway.
nothing.
I'm not saying anything to that.
No, I didn't figure you would. Anyhow, there you go. That's the largest bowl I've done in a long time. It's got a little more work. I got to do a little more back here. I didn't quite get that as nice as I should have, but it's close. It won't take me 10 minutes and I'll have that done. So anyway, red oak had problems in it, some ring shank and some other problems, but it a little perseverance and it turned out a-okay. So
Yes.
thank you all for being with us. It's been a
Excellent.
good time. Anything coming up, Ruby?
Not until August, and then I'm off demonstrating at a couple clubs.
All right. Wayne, you still plugging along, huh?
Hey, but nothing coming up from me in the foreseeable future.
All right. Just plugging on and
Yeah,
keeping an eye on those rain clouds, huh?
that's it.
All right. All right. Well, folks, it's been a good day. I hope you've had a good time. I have. Got some cleaning up to do. I've got a pile of red oak shavings sitting here. So we're going to get on that and get this foot cleaned up and ready to go so I can get that in the shop here in just a day or two. So thanks for coming by. I hope you'll come back again next week. And until then, hope you're able to spin them around. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Don't forget